Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is The Terrible Secret of Lot X. It was written by Luke Strom, and he is also our GM. Our recap will be given by Keith Craig, and this is episode 6. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Keith?
Thank you. Freaking Volstead, that man. I used to take comfort in books, Law and Order. It all made sense. Now what's the point? Cornelius, yeah, he has been a tough client. But even with his eccentricities, flights of fancy, he's always paid the bills, and he's always helped me live a good life. Now I'm pretty sure it hasn't been worth it. Well, yeah. So after investigating the forest, we headed up to Bolton. And after leaving Bolton on some leads, Cornelius really started to act even more erratic. Not just the, hey, I want to spend money on this next stupid thing because I'm obsessed with it. No, obsessed with stuff that doesn't make sense. He wants to find this Pell. That man's the start of all our problems. Cornelius bought some package from it and sent us on some wild chase. At first I thought, well, I'll just bill him some hours. But now I think that something's really wrong. Something went on. Anyway, we make it back to Arkham. We placate Cornelius. We let him make some pointless flyers to drop down in the sewers. You know, like Pell's going to read that. Then we head out into the woods. There's a cabin up there that's owned by the owners of the plant that we visited in Bolton. The Eliases, I believe, was their name. We tried to look inconspicuous by acting like hunters, like I was going to put down my gun after what happened down in the ship. About lost my chest there. As we were approaching, we kept debating what we were going to do. Then Aldous, he seemed to see something off in the woods. He went over there and checked it out. He came back white. He said not to go over there and look. Said it was something. It was no animal he'd ever heard of. I, of course, followed his advice because, you know, you follow the experts just like you follow good lawyer advice. Of course, the others, they had to go see. And then they came back looking worse for the wear. Fortunately, we were able to get gathered around and headed up to the cabin. Bravely, we allowed Aunt Gertrude to go up and knock on the door. She was greeted by a charming-looking young man named Pelham, obviously a servant. Back with my people, civilized people. However, then he wouldn't let us come in. We tried everything from needling him, saying that we were lost. We just needed to sit down. Finally, just asking for some tea because our good friend Aldous was looking a little peaked after his scare. He just seemed to change his mind. Then everything went to hell. Cornelius raised up Pell's gun, something like a 10-gauge shotgun, and just shot the man almost at point-blank range. I was sitting there wondering, how am I going to keep Cornelius out of jail? And then the answer was given to me when Pelham tried to gut Gertie with a sword. Fortunately, Cornelius, maybe he wasn't crazy. He finished off Pelham with the second barrel. Frank and Aldous jumped into action and started attending to Gertie, but Cornelius and I decided we'd go into the house. Maybe there was something to help her out. So we went inside. There was some kind of chemistry experiment going on. Cornelius was reading some papers. They were talking about how they needed some salts, essentially. I didn't really catch what it was because I wanted to make sure no one was going to sneak up on us. We checked out the bedrooms. One of them was obviously a Mildred's bedroom. The other one was a man's bedroom. I assume Woodrow, the brother. However, there was an urn there with his name on it. Seems his sickness took him for the worse. As I come back out, Frank and Aldous are screaming that we need to get Gertie to the hospital. Her intestines were coming out of her stomach. This sprang me into action, and of course I grabbed the papers and books. But before we could head out, Cornelius reads some papers out loud, and then it can't possibly be. But there was a horrible sight. There was a mouth with fingers coming out of the salts. It was obviously a madhouse or some kind of toxic gas in there making me feel sick. I knew what would fix it: fire. Fortunately, there were some burners around that I kicked over as we headed out. We grabbed the book and left. At the hospital, we made up some story about Gertie falling down and getting her guts cut open. And while we were waiting, I decided to do some reading. Look, seems like the Eliases are wanting to do a play up in Boston. Something about wearing masks, and I don't know. I didn't grab all the sheets of paper. It sounded pretty boring to me. Nothing I'd want to go to. Once Gertie was patched up, we headed back to Arkham. Frank decided to go to a priest to unload his mind. I guess, seeing all that death would do that. Me, I found comfort in drawing up some billable hours for Cornelius. While I was working on that, though, Cornelius decides he's going to dump Woodrow out. I keep telling him, I was like, hey, that's hard to clean up, but he doesn't seem to care. Then he reads from that paper again, and then a man started forming. I don't remember much after that. They say I blacked out, but from what I understand, he must have been pretty whiny because all he did was talk about his sister and how he was going to get her back. By the time I woke up, the man was gone, back into the salts is what they said. Frank was back, wondering what was going on, and I decided I'm going to read this book. After all, we got some pages in there. So I started reading, and next thing I know, I pass out again. There's something awful. If a book can betray me this way, and what I've seen, there is no order in the universe anymore. God, I need a drink. Freaking prohibition. All right.
Okay. Alcohol in the house.
And so with that, you guys had a rather hectic and chaotic day with some busy times riding around and visiting the hospital and experiencing things man was not meant to know, and settle in for the night and make yourselves a nice dinner and get some rest before you have to follow anything up or take this from here. Now, as you guys are all settling in for the evening, which of you has the lowest luck?
Mine is 52.
Okay.
62.
I might not have sanity, but I have luck.
I'm
I got
only
70.
I'm only at 44.
Okay.
I'm at
Frank?
50.
Okay. Well, Aunt Gertrude, make a listen test.
Listen. No.
Okay. So, everyone,
Neither do I.
everyone has a calm back half of the evening at the very least, soothing your nerves from Cornelius's private stock and resting in his comfortable home. And it's not long before you all split up and take a separate bedroom within stately Felton Manor and settle in for the night. Now, most of you, probably with the exception of the unflappable Frank Shannon, have rather fitful sleep, disturbed with the things you've seen today. Aunt Gertrude, in the midst of a rather unpleasant dream, reliving your nearly fatal stabbing, you feel a cold wind on you. And after a while, you come to realize that the wind isn't just in your dream, and you even realize that you're dreaming. As you blink your eyes awake, you look and see the windows open, and sitting at the edge of your bed is the hunched over form of a man.
I'm a woman. I'm probably going to scream. Let me do a power roll to see if I scream or whether I gasp. If I fail, I'm going to scream. No, I passed. Okay, so I'm going to be like, "Who are you? Who are you?"
Well, the man turns around, and his graying hair is streaked with dirt. He is definitely living on the streets or somewhere, possibly even the sewers.
Hell? Yeah.
When you say that name, he turns around towards you and just lets out this cracked laugh. You're not the one from the auction, but this is his house. Who are you?
Yes, I'm his aunt. We've been looking for you. And I say, if you'll allow me, and I sort of throw the sheets back, and I climb out of bed. I'm of course in a nightgown.
Yeah, he's dressed in a somewhat tattered and dirty overcoat. Underneath, it actually looks like he's got the remnants of what would have once been, a rather nice button-down suit.
Right.
But it is utterly wrecked by neglect and exposure.
We've suspected for a while that you might still be alive.
Hell, alive? No way. He's dead. He's been dead a long time.
Well, who are you then?
Who am I? I'm McLeonard. That bastard ruined me. Look at me. I'm stuck in his miserable body.
McLeonard?
That's right. Now, listen up.
Let me get my brother. We're all here in the house. Do you want to come downstairs and have some coffee or something?
That's when you realize that you haven't really seen one of his hands. He's had one out kind of just gesticulating in your direction. And
Right.
as you mentioned the others, he draws his other hand out from his coat, and he's got what looks like a government service pistol, like a Colt 1911. And he kind of aims it in your direction, but not quite at you.
Oh, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to do anything to scare you. Please.
Oh, listen, you exploring all this, you're following his trail. You're just like us now. Listen, I may look like him, but I'm not him up here. And he points to his head, and he kind of holds his ratty hair back some, and kind of cleans some of the muck from it, and you can see a thin line, almost imperceptible, that runs in a circle around his head.
Oh my. Listen. We don't want to hurt you. In fact, I think we want to help you. We're finding out all sorts of terrible things that have been going on. Just let me get the others. They'll be glad to help you.
I'm sure you will. Okay. If that's what you think is best. Okay.
I open the door and I just sort of bang on the wall, and I go, "Everybody, come quickly." Hopefully that's enough to wake him up.
So you guys all hear that, And if that doesn't wake you, the gunshot that follows it does.
All right, I'll pack up my stuff and put it on.
Oh no! And Gertrude, you're like looking down at yourself, like, oh, is this how I die? But no, you seem to be fine.
Okay, I probably screamed when he shoots the gun. So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
I,
I don't know how an old woman.
Cornelius comes rushing into the room with his gun.
I'm like, and I kind of try to stop you. I say, it's him. It's the guy.
It's Pell, and I start pushing past you now.
And as I do, I say, I don't think that he's Pell. I think that he's something else.
Something else.
And yeah, you push your way past Aunt Gertrude, and lying next to the bed is a figure in the shadows. You can see gripped in one of its hands, shining off the light from the hallway, is a smoking pistol.
I snap on the light.
You say he's lying on the floor. Did he shoot himself?
Seems to be.
Ah, Christ.
Pell!
You know how hard it's going to be to clean this shit up.
Pell!
I show up. Miss Felton, don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Oh, Pell, he knew.
Cornelius, are you going to touch him?
He was the one who did, and I am.
Okay.
This episode. Oh, my dear
Make a
Pell.
spot hidden check.
Like, he said that it sounds crazy, but he said that he wasn't Pell, that he was McLennan.
I passed. 23 out of 25.
He was McLennan in Pell's body.
McLeonard. I remember I was looking for a McLeonard. They're part of he was one of an Agent McLeonard.
So he was either crazy or he was somehow, maybe they mixed their salts up.
By this point, I'm sure I'm up the stairs now.
Yeah, so I passed my spot hidden.
Yeah. So Cornelius, you're looking over this body of this Pell or this McLeonard or whoever he is, and you see the thin line across his around his head that Aunt Gertrude had seen when he showed it, but you also see there's something weird about his chest. It's almost got like an indentation in the center of it, and his shirt is like practically hanging open. You kind of touch at him, and as you are inspecting him, you feel what almost feels like a button on kind of the side of his ribs, but that doesn't make any sense. And as your finger applies pressure into it, his entire rib cage just flips open with a metallic click. Make a sanity check.
Yeah, we all do that. Well, I'd pass.
I passed for once in my
I
life!
suppose I'm in the room too, so.
If you're looking, yeah.
I rolled a 4.
I failed by 1 point.
I failed by a lot.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I have 10 sanity left. 10, and I passed my first sanity check of the game.
Well, anybody who fails, D6.
Ooh.
This is just like that time in Guadalajara.
I got
Yeah,
a 6.
I imagine Corny's just like...
Cordy is like, I've seen worse at this point.
There were bear trap rib cages in Guadalajara.
yeah.
I'm actually going to make use of something that I've totally forgot 7th edition has. Aldous, make an idea roll.
Okay. 40. Intelligence, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, intelligence.
Yeah, I passed.
Okay, then yeah, you do realize the terror of your situation. Okay.
Is that a card?
Yeah,
What-
so that means
How
it's
many points?
Yeah, he's
6.
6.
Oh, wow. Yeah, roll an 8-sided dice.
Rough.
7.
Hallucinations. Roll a 1d4.
Nice.
4.
Monsters.
Monsters,
You
yep.
see monsters everywhere in the room.
I've got an idea for this one specifically.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, when his chest flips open, all of his interior organs that you can see look like they're neatly segmented and packaged, and fitted together with removable couplings. This thing looks like it would be something out of a scientist's laboratory. And Aldous, these things inside his chest are multiplying and growing and seem to be crawling in your direction, and they're going to get you. Everybody else, you guys see Aldous looks pretty concerned about this body.
So what pretty much happened is I come literally running up the stairs. What the hell? I heard a gun. And then he kind of stops and he goes, whoever's in front of him, Randall, and he throws Randall behind him and he, Gertie, get back, Gertie, and jumps on top of the bed. And he's like, Gertie, get on the bed now.
Whoa, Aldous, calm down.
Aldous, what's wrong?
They're crawling out of his chest. Don't you see them? And then I'm gonna leap towards Cornelius and try and knock him out of the room.
Okay.
Not to hurt him, just like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to grab
Fine.
Aldous.
Okay.
Come. I'm like literally trying to pull people out the door now.
Yeah, Cornelius doesn't move.
Okay.
I'm kind of
Oh, yeah,
locked in with
guy.
the morbid curiosity.
Well,
This is for 1d10 rounds.
Yeah, Cornelius is a big guy, so he's hard to move. And then once Frank gets in and starts trying to restrain all this, between the two of you guys, you were able to kind of hold him still, a screaming, jarred wreck until Aldous finally gets full of his senses and looks around and realizes there's nothing but his friends and the non-moving body.
I'm just gonna slump down in the door frame.
So this is how he held his heart in his hands, huh? Detachable. How about that?
Yeah.
Is the brain too? And I start
It's like he's
fiddling with the body, trying to open up his head.
That doesn't seem to open.
It's like he's a Hoover vacuum cleaner on the inside.
Whatever he is,
like it.
it was the bugs, like he said.
Cornelius says that with utter certainty and like such
Oh,
conviction.
I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, what do we do now? This guy was good. I was hoping that he would answer some questions, but he shot himself.
Well, maybe he has answered a question, Aunt Gertie. We were wondering what they were going to do in the theater. Whatever they are up to, it drove this man to kill himself.
Yeah, but
Everything in the box
us
is terrible.
He could have told us before he shot himself. What a fucker.
Oh, I don't believe we should be judging him so harshly.
Hey, Mr. Felton,
Did your heart come out like this?
since your hands are already dirty, why don't you check his pockets? And maybe he has something.
His pockets.
Yeah, maybe
Everything marvelous about him is right in here.
Oh, don't put your hands in his chest. I advise against.
Turns back, hands buried in his chest.
Oh,
Don't lick your fingers.
yeah.
Oh, it's actually surprisingly clean in there. It's shockingly antiseptic.
Oh, it smells like a hospital. Look at this. Such pristine work.
So the whiskey's with the ostrich, right?
Yes.
So what does this mean for us now? I can't sleep.
Well,
I was already dreaming that I was a pincushion.
everybody else associated with this is gone. Pell's gone. Whoever this man in Pell's skin is gone. Even Gek. Gek is gone too. Woodrow's gone, mentally, partly and physical. Us and the girl are the only ones left. And she seems to have horrible intentions. Unless we plan on finding some bugs to help us, I think we have to take matters into our own hands.
I think that we can also guess that there are other people involved that we're not aware of yet.
But how are we going to track them down in time? They're putting on the play, whatever it is.
Well, do we need to go to Boston?
Yeah, that's what I'd think. I think that why tracking down? If they're going to be there, we'll go there and burn them. Fire cures all.
Well, I don't know about that, Randall.
Oh.
What are we hoping to accomplish here? We're trying to stop them from doing something that...
The play.
But
What
why?
else is there to stop? Because it came from Pell's belongings. Everything associated with Pell's belonging has only led those to ruin.
Well, I'm up for doing what everybody else wants to do because I'd like to see the end of this horror. And it is a horror. That's horrible. And I point at the guy on the ground. I'm like, I was trying to be nice to him and he shot himself. I knew that he was crazy. I knew that he was something other. And now...
But don't beat yourself up over that, Aunt Gertie. It wasn't your fault. It was the bugs.
What are these bugs you're talking about?
Yeah,
The
what
bugs.
are you talking about, the bugs?
They did this to him. Didn't I tell you? When he came holding his own heart, when I bought the package, he told me. He told me exactly who it was. It was the bugs. We don't have time to find the bugs now. And I'm sure they won't help us.
Honey, I think that you're going to have to take some time
Unless,
off.
of course, you consider detachable organs a help to stopping plays. I think that finding the bugs now would be a waste of time, Aunt Gertie. Even if you have your heart set on it, I'm sorry.
Well, we got to at least find out what the hell is going on here.
I agree.
So,
So then we can make a more coherent plan than what we did at the cabin.
True. What time of night is it? Or is it early morning?
Yeah, it's early AM, probably about 2 AM.
Okay. Well, I don't think any of us are going to be getting any more sleep. So
Well, I'm gonna now hold on a second. And I'm gonna go take the go get Woodrow's cylinder, and I'm gonna try to tuck it into the dead guy's arm.
Okay.
Rest well, my friend. It will stop this. I'll make sure of it.
He was always such a sentimental boy.
So yes.
Do we have an address in Boston?
We should.
We have the name of the theater.
Yes, they bought an old theater.
Yeah, and I looked it up.
Yeah, the Monarch Theater. It's an old shuttered theater in an industrial northern part of the town.
Yep. I say we maybe. I'm not going to be going to sleep after seeing that. I say we get some coffee going, get some food, then maybe get up there early. Maybe we can get there before any of them and actually scope this place out.
Oh, well, they're there. We need our rest.
We do need some rest. But I don't want to sleep in here now that there's a body on the floor. I'm just going to go sit on the couch next to the ostrich. And if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. But y'all should come down and sit down there too. And we'll go as soon as we're all awake and ready.
I think we should all have a brandy.
Yes.
Yeah, that would help. That would help a lot.
My hands
I envy our little ostrich friend.
He doesn't have to deal with any of this crap.
Yes, exactly, Aldous.
But in many ways, it's very similar. Mr. Ostrich downstairs and Mr. Man right here is just a shell.
Yeah.
Very true.
I wish he was stuffed with straw instead of Hoover cleaner. Let's go downstairs.
And I'm still take one last look for those creatures that were running out of his stomach before I go back down.
Oh, it's quite safe, Aldous.
Just making sure. This has been
Corny,
one weird week.
Corny, do you still have some of that 1798 pirate rum? I think I want some of that.
Oh, yeah, I might have misplaced that
Uh,
at a party a couple of weeks ago.
God damn it. Brandy it is, I suppose. Got some Greek metaxa brandy. We'll try that. All right.
Oh, armed with your drink of choice from the Felton family collection, you guys gather up an early breakfast and consider your choices. Again, it's about a 2-hour drive to Boston, so I mean, even with a long drive, you guys are up early and can get out there pretty much any time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine we'd sit there for a long time and we just can't fall asleep.
Yeah.
So let's go early, maybe 5 o'clock. We can get some breakfast along the way somewhere at a 1920s Denny's.
Yeah, that guy
Oh, yeah.
Denny has a good grill.
It's delicious.
But not
Okay.
Norm's.
Mm.
It's garbage.
So Frank had mentioned going with a plan this time. Frank, you've been quiet.
Yeah, I'm just I'm parsing. I saw a man with a bear trap rib cage. It's yeah. And as much as it hasn't been phasing me, I would like to prevent another gut stabbing.
Yeah.
If at all possible.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is the second blasphemous cheating of death that you've seen in a day. Like not just second instance, but second variety.
This has turned out to be a very crazy week.
It is. But the stories we'll have to tell.
Yeah,
So
indeed.
it's on the way there, I'll try and confer with those who have done more reading about what they think the play is.
Well, from I got a real they talk about how they're going to don mask and welcome, and that they all shall know. So it seems like an audience participation kind of a play, but you know.
Well, that's fun.
It is fun. It is fun if you're into that, which I'm not. But you know, I know you've always enjoyed that, Cornelius. So, but besides that, I mean, you know, it didn't say a lot. You know, yeah, it used a lot of words I didn't understand. But
It seems to me that they've been going. The stuff they've been working on is pretty damn strange. And then when you throw suddenly some sort of a play they're putting on, that seems like almost a non sequitur, like it doesn't make any sense for everything else. So,
But it does.
Well, I think that we can assume that it's something nefarious and evil.
Well, they've been doing the exact same thing we have been doing this whole time, Aunt Gertie. We bought a part of Pell's items, and we've been going through from the top to the bottom, and that's led us here. They did the same thing. Both of what we purchased have now led us to the play.
Yeah, but we didn't kill 20 different dock workers or leather workers and transform them into creatures.
No, but we were following a different set of Pell's possessions. Who knows if the tables were turned what we would have done? So that doesn't matter now.
What item do you think that they found along the way? A book of some sort?
No, a play of some sort.
Play.
Pell
Well,
talks about it in his notes, whether he should read it. I guess they have the copy.
they seem to be obsessed with eternal life. So my guess is that whatever the play is has something to do with that. Maybe a symbolic sort of thing for like a religion, like religious stuff.
Maybe.
Oh. Well,
Perhaps.
in that book I read, it does talk about a ritual.
A ritual.
Yeah, it's very dangerous, but
Is it part of the play?
well, it was in the book, so I don't think it was from the same manuscript, but it just made me think of it. Her saying, could be a part of a religion.
Well, Randall, what is this play about?
Oh,
Did you look at it?
I skimmed it. Like I said, I only got a couple sheets of paper of it. The rest are mercifully destroyed back in that cabin.
No, but what does the pieces you have say?
Oh, it talks about the mask and how they shall know us and all. Like I said, it references Holly or something like that. Hali. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but it sounded like a made up word. But
Maybe it is. Is it a monologue?
oh, that I wouldn't know. I have no art.
Hey, well, maybe we'll get lucky and they needed stuff that was in that cabin.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys take the papers that Randall had pertaining to the play, they look like nonsensical stage directions. If anybody's got any kind of relevant creative skills, you can take a roll on that, or you can just or occult or Cthulhu Mythos.
All right, I got a lot of occult and a lot of Cthulhu Mythos now, so let's take a shot, shall we?
I'll do some occult.
4. That is actually going to be a hard Cthulhu Mythos success.
Okay.
Almost an extreme Cthulhu Mythos success. That's how far down the rabbit hole I am.
Spend the luck.
Okay.
If they pass it my way, I'll do an art roll.
I don't know if I want to get an extreme Mythos on this. Just like, oh, crap.
I passed some papers to you too, Frank.
Okay.
Now, don't go reading nothing out loud while we're driving.
Yeah.
Missed it by 15.
Okay. So yeah, with it, Frank, you've got some familiarity with the fine arts of various types, and so you can recognize some stuff of this, but there's so much that doesn't make sense. Like, it's half stage directions, half religious ritual, half physics paper, and that's first of all, that's 3 halves, so the math doesn't even add up.
It's 3 halves.
I just barely started typing that into the chat.
And so, yeah, you're having some trouble making some sense out of it, and you pass it back to Cornelius, and Cornelius looks at it and is just like, yep, this makes perfect sense. And so with this,
I creased my eyebrows worriedly.
Cornelius, make a sanity check.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Well, that's not a pass.
Okay, you lose 1d4, and remember, you're only going to lose half of that.
Oh,
because,
that's right, because I'm
yeah. So
1.
okay, and you gain 2 points of occult, another point of Cthulhu Mythos, and so with it, this this looks like someone is. You don't have the full contents of the play here, but it looks like someone is. I'm trying to think of a way to explain it. It's like if they were to skip straight to the denouement of a play, like
Okay.
and beyond that, the stage directions that some of the others had read and didn't quite understand, you understand.
Looks like they're trying to go somewhere.
It's not metaphorically reaching out to another place. This play is a bridge to another place, and the dance that they have set to perform requires dancers, supplicants, and and an audience. And with it, looks like it's for a pretty significant number of people. About 2.5 dozen people at least. And beyond that, let's see about the hard success. One thing that you know from reading this, which Randall had kind of like hinted at with what he was talking about, anyone wearing a mask to this will be considered as participants, and you're certain that if you were, no matter what they're up to, if you were to walk in with a mask, you don't think Mildred would lay a hand on you, at least as long as you didn't try to stop whatever she's doing.
Well, my good friends, it's quite clear what they're trying to do here. They're trying to go somewhere.
Oh.
Like Broadway?
Broadway. No, they have much bigger aspirations than Broadway. Isn't it? Look, it's quite clear. Look at this direction. Exit world, it says.
Yep.
Quite clear.
Oh.
They're trying to go somewhere. The place talks about.
You're saying they're using some sort of witchcraft or magic.
They're following the play.
Yeah, Cornelius, it's not even listed in here, but you're pretty certain. Distant Carcosa.
Carcosa. That's where they're trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get to Carcosa. And the play is the way.
I've been all over the world. I never heard of this Carcosa.
Oh, Carcosa isn't here, my good Aldous.
It sounds like it's in Spain.
Why do you think they have to exit the world to get there? Don't you understand? They don't want eternal life anymore, and that's too low of a game for them now. They want to leave and take whatever scrap of the world will go with it into madness. Do you understand? This play, there's things about the universe, Aunt Gertie. Certain patterns, certain words that cause things to happen. You saw it with the salt. Randall saw it with the symbol I drew on the door. It glowed. Patterns and symbols have an impact on us, Aunt Gertie. And they're going to use a particular set of patterns associated with this play to leave the world behind for wherever Carcosa is and whoever is there. Take whoever they can with it. Who knows what they'll unleash here.
Well, let them go. Good riddance.
Let them go. They're opening a bridge, Aunt Gertie. They might go one way,
But something
God
like
knows
that
who
in the
what they'll
other
bring
direction.
back.
Oh my goodness.
But all those who participate wear masks, Aunt Gertie.
Mass?
Masks. And that's where we get her.
Hmm.
She won't dare harm a participant.
Well, what
If we
sort
all
of
wear
mask?
masks,
What
we
sort
can
of
go
mask?
in unaccosted and enter. Simple.
Does it say anything about what kind of masks?
I don't believe just masks. Any will do. From what I can tell.
I'm sure we could find some costume store along the way. I mean, we got 2-hour trip, though. We got to pass someplace.
Yeah,
Yes.
Boston's a big city. They'll have something.
And we'll make
You know,
sure she won't exit the world in the way that she thinks she will tonight.
We could get. We could go to a store where they sell those masks that you wear when you're going to sleep.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Cut some eye holes in them.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
they're not full facial masks, but they're.
Oh, but why go so plain, Aunt Gertie? This is a once-in-existence opportunity.
Wait, Cornelius. You're not planning on going anywhere. We're planning on stopping this, aren't we?
Oh, we are. But of course, we should look the part when we go.
So we're going to sneak in there as participants.
No, we're not going to sneak in. We're going to walk right in the front door.
And they're not going to stop us?
No. Why would they stop participants? They need us. They need participants to get there. They can't do it by themselves.
Well, we're almost in Beverly, and I believe that in Beverly there's a number of costume places where we can get like some of those really cool Mardi Gras masks.
Oh, excellent. Yes.
Good idea.
Okay.
So,
yeah, with that, you guys eventually find a place to stop and acquire some costume pieces, an assorted variety of masks. Beyond that, was there any other preparations anybody wanted to make?
Handle.
weapons.
Pistols.
Well, I'm sure we brought that all from the house. We had been carrying the weapons with us everywhere.
Well, stock up on some ammo and everything.
Randall,
Yes. Yeah. What's up, Frank?
what would happen if we sneak in with the masks and suddenly we're forced to participate instead of to actually participate?
I don't know. I mean, what I imagine, if we forced to participate, maybe we won't know our role. We could misstep and maybe mess this whole thing up. I mean, that's best I could think of. I mean, it's a public residence, so of course, falling back on my legal judgment, we have every right to be there.
Frank, you're Catholic, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you've seen people who've come to visit the Catholic Church who aren't Catholic, and they just sort of stand there and pretend to say the prayers along with the Catholic prayers.
On occasion, yeah.
I always say we just do the same thing.
Let's see if I can get like a long coat and maybe cut the ends off my shotgun. That way I'm not walking around with the big shotgun.
I got a hacksaw in the trunk.
Oh, that's convenient. That's awesome.
I think
Well,
masks that
sometimes
would be easily removable might be a good thing.
Yeah, I think these we can just fling them off if we need to.
Remove them for what purpose? If we don't stop
case
them,
we need
taking our
to.
masks off won't help us.
Well, it's just a precaution.
A precaution.
Yeah, when they say everybody with a mask on gets to go with us, it's like, yeah, I don't want to go. All right. Why do I have a hacksaw in the trunk? Well, it's because, sometimes you have to saw handcuffs off.
I like it. You and your husband were weird, but
Yeah, but we saw a lot of shit.
all right, get that all adjusted.
And sometimes you have to escape from prison.
That's right.
Why do I have this nagging feeling that this isn't going to be fun?
Oh,
Because
cheer
it's been
about this.
horrible so far. But now, according to Cornelius, we're trying to save the world. We're trying to knock down the bridge.
I like it.
According to me, it's according to logic. It's according to the universe. And Gertie, you're still not getting it. Here, look at the play. Don't you see it? It's written right there in the writing what they're trying to do.
I get it, Corny. So can we assume that we've gotten our masks and maybe
you guys.
whatever costumes, if we want to wear like trench coats that go down to the floor?
Yeah, trench coats, and you guys have like pulled over by the woods and sawed the barrels off your shotguns. If you want to do that, stop by the sporting goods store, pick yourselves up a few boxes of ammunition.
I would have to do that to my rifle because it's a big hunting rifle.
Thank God for Sport Mart.
I'll cut off a lot of the stock too. The wooden part,
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think we could get those leather belts? What are they called?
Holsters?
Oh, a bandolier.
Oh.
Oh yeah, those are easily gotten.
It's like we're going to fight Pancho Villa.
Oh, we're fighting much more than that, Aunt Gertie.
So with your trench coats, masks, ammunition, and shotguns, and sort of other weapons, that takes you a little while to make a couple stops around Boston to pick that stuff up and get yourselves ready. And with it, that's something you guys are able to do pretty easily on Cornelius's tab. With all of that stuff, did anyone have any plans for anything unusual, kind of outside the realm of costume, clothing, and guns?
Well, anybody got any occult ideas? Like maybe we should take garlic or
Holy water?
Spain? I don't know what's involved here. Throw a little salt into the mix.
Rosary beads?
Speaking of salt, do you still have those salt shotgun shells?
Yes.
Never know. May come in handy. Keep them handy with that gun that has that carving in it.
No, I'm not sure how much salt is going to bother what they're doing.
Well, what if, we don't know, but what if their ritual involves something with the salt people that they want to resurrect, and we throw a bunch of other salt in there with it?
Yeah.
Especially you didn't bring your little friend. You left him back at the house. Damn it. That would have been perfect.
Buy one of those little blue containers of salt and stick it in your pocket just in case.
Oh, but I would hate to spill poor Woodrow everywhere.
Well, you left him back at the house.
Yes, he deserves some rest. They're all resting now. Whatever rest there is.
So, when
Stares off the distance.
when we go by the theater, I suggest that we kind of cruise by, but slow down and see if there's any like flyers out or any activity going on that we can spot.
What we're gonna do first, of course, is see if we can find parking. That's not going to be so easy.
Well, actually, Aunt Gertie, surprisingly, not too big of a problem. As you guys drive past the area, the Monarch Theater is in a run-down part of Boston. This area looks like it was a pretty vibrant working-class neighborhood back in the day, but with artisan craft shops and hand tool factories in the area, but technological innovation and competition has shuttered most of it.
No. Are we sure we don't want them to bring something from the other side to clean this place up?
This place definitely looks like a lot of the row houses here have been either abandoned or taken over by squatters. So this is in a pretty bad way. The theater itself, as you guys drive past the theater itself, it definitely looks like it was once a pretty opulent and successful place that probably ran into trouble around the same time the neighborhood fell apart. And its metal fittings and everything are all beginning to tarnish. The glass front doors are all papered over. The marquee is cracked up, but one thing you do see though on the marquee is it looks like somebody's painted there, and it looks kind of fresh compared to the stains underneath it. Opening soon and forever.
Isn't that a funny word?
They're rather confident of their business model.
Yeah. Well, is there any vagrants around that we could maybe talk to?
Yeah, you see a few people that are kind of warily eyeing you as you ride up the road.
Hey, Cornelius, you still have your road whiskey in the glove box?
Well, how do you know about that, Randall?
Oh, there was one time you might have been imbibed a little too much and mentioned it.
Oh. Yes, I do.
Uh, well, let's see if maybe one of these guys have a loose tongue and can tell us any information about this place. So, mind stopping
Yes.
there, Aldous?
Yeah, I'll pull the car to a stop.
Okay.
Is there anything to indicate when the performance is going to happen?
Not that you can see. I mean, with the doors papered over, it's hard to see like inside. You can't really tell much.
They'll do it whenever they're ready.
So do we get inside and hide somewhere and wait for them? I hope they're not going to do it on Christmas or something. Then we're going to wait for a long time.
Yeah. Possibly. I just want to see like if maybe there's they've seen any indication bringing in set pieces or something that could help us determine if we're here too early.
Well, as you guys have pulled over next to the place, there's a few men sitting on a stoop. Looks like they're sharing a loaf of bread and a bottle of something that they're not even really trying to hide.
Mhm.
They're kind of eyeing you warily as Cornelius's nice car pulls up.
Right. So when we pull up and stop, I will get out and I will put the whiskey into my pocket, maybe save it for a little bit later, and go. Hello, my good sirs. Might I trouble you for a few questions?
They kind of eye you warily. One of them holds the bottle to his lips and takes a swig of something that looks horrible and cloudy, and you can smell it from where you are, and it smells more like industrial cleaner than actual proper booze. And he kind of looks over the bottle at you and says, "What do you want?"
Oh, well, I was wondering, this interesting theater here. How long have they been working on it? It looks like it's being refurbished.
What's it to you? You gonna buy it?
Well, we might if the price is right. Oh, do you need a top off there, good sir?
He raises an eyebrow.
I open it up. I take a little bit of a sip, so you know you can see that. It's like it's quite good. The best you can still find.
He looks at his bottle, hands it off to one of his friends, who suddenly looks insulted by it, and takes the bottle from you,
Uh,
and takes a swig and grins, and says, "Okay. Well, listen, you're wasting your time buying that crap hole. Nobody's gonna come. I don't know who bought this one, but I mean, they don't even let people in it.
oh, really?
They're not hiring or nothing."
Oh, that is awful. So, have you tried to get a job there, good sir?
I asked, but I mean, sometimes they give away some of their leftover food, and they say when they're gonna open it, it's gonna be free for everybody. How you make money like that? You don't. It's crazy.
That's why I hope to buy it sometime because they'll go under. Did they say give any indication of when it'd be free for everyone? That way we could go in and check it out.
I don't know. I don't know. I saw the lady visits the place. She came by in a real hurry yesterday.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, it sounds like it could possibly be soon. You wouldn't, since I might be trying to undercut her, you wouldn't happen to know a way in there that maybe I could scope it out. I mean, I'd like to revive this neighborhood.
They got a door around back. That's where they throw out their meals they're done with. But they lock that door.
Oh, they do. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, what about the front door? Did they lock that one pretty tight?
Well, I don't know, but I wouldn't go in there.
Oh, I understand. I understand. Well, I thank you. And will you be around here in case, just to keep an eye on it? I might be back with some more questions.
More questions? Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. He kind of shakes the bottle. He's like, "It depends. I might be around."
Oh, I'm reading you loud and clear. Possibly, maybe if fortune favors me, maybe I could use a good doorman. A good job can help out a man, and maybe buy some more tasty beverages.
Maybe. Well, you have a good day, mister.
You too.
Randall, were you in the car or did you get out of the car to talk to him?
I got out.
Through the window.
I stepped out. Yeah. I come over and kind of relay the information. It's like they've got a side door, but the bum thought it was a lock. But apparently they put out some scraps of food, and also they do use that door. He said the lady had came by yesterday in quite a hurry.
Oh, did they say when?
He did it. Oh, when she came by, or when?
Yes, when she came by. Did she come by before or after we burned down her cabin?
Oh, I didn't ask that. I didn't catch. Dang it.
What do you say? You said he said something about free, giving something out free or something?
Yeah, he said that they're going, when it comes time to open, it'll be a free for all to come.
Well, they need their audience.
When I look at the guys, I look around the car and say, let's give him a couple bucks and tell him there'll be a 25-cent piece in it for every person he keeps out of there. Let's keep this audience as small as possible. Tell him, round them all up and take them away from here. And we'll give him a couple bucks now. And for every person he can show us that he kept from going in there, we'll give him another quarter. Whether we give it to him or not, it'll still the less people in there, the better.
We need to find out when this is going to happen. If he says they're going to be offering it to people, they must be talking to people. They must be putting out flyers or something. We want to see if we can break in. If that woman was here yesterday, I doubt she's seriously driving 2 hours here to walk inside for a few minutes and then driving 2 hours back to Bolton.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes, did anybody recognize her car from the tannery? Is it here?
I'm sure she wouldn't be parking around here.
Yeah, could be anywhere.
Well, why
She
not?
could be staying down the street. She could be staying in the middle of town. She has some money, so she's not going to stay in a flea bag motel in this neighborhood.
Right, exactly.
Of course.
Let's see if I can get through that door.
Who is he going to keep away? There's already people there, aren't there? They're tossing out food. They don't need the street rats to come. They have all that they need already. They'll just let them come in to watch the show.
Let's find out.
Before everything goes away. Find out.
Let's see if we can get in.
Yeah. Well, Gertie, last time you tried the door, it turned out all right. I'll be right behind you.
All right.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye out. Watch for people.
You guys bring the car to a park. I'm guessing, are you guys going to maybe drive to a slightly nicer neighborhood and then walk, or just park nearby, out in front?
How far are those guys sitting from the theater?
They're kind of they're across the street and like down a half block away.
Why don't we let me talk with the guys? Let's park right here. They're gonna watch it.
Well, this is the 1920s. We're not exactly, people don't carjack you or steal your tires and run away with them. And
It's a depression.
No, it's not yet.
Not yet. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Russian is the 30s.
29 starts. Yeah.
Well, in case we need to get out of here quick, I'd feel safer with the car.
All right, you stay by the car.
No, I'll come with you guys, but I'm gonna walk over to the guy. Be like, here's a quarter. I'll give you another quarter when I get back. If nobody touches this, anybody comes near it, you crack their fucking skull. And if you do have to crack their skull, I'll give you $1.
All right. So let's head to that door. This side. Most likely this is where the stage people go in and out if it's a theater.
Okay. So you guys make your way across the street towards the Monarch Theater. There's, like I said, the front entrance is covered in glass and what would have once been shiny brass fittings and accessories and things like that, but it's all tarnished. The glass is all papered over. With it, you guys said you wanted to make your way around the side?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, making your way around the side of the building, there's kind of an alleyway that runs along one side of it, and along the side of the building, towards the back, probably about 3/4 of the way towards the back, there is a door. That door, you don't really see too much of note. It looks like it's mainly designed to open from the inside, but you could probably pry it open. Probably like a fire escape or something like that. Around the back of the building, you see another door, and piled off to the side of this door is just discarded mass of boxes and containers for what looks like delivered food. There are bugs and rats running through it with no care for your presence. Actually, and a little further down the alleyway behind the Monarch Theater, you recognize a car that you think is probably Mildred's.
Ah, she might be here. Well, let's cautiously see if the door is unlocked.
All right.
I wonder
Okay.
if she's left anything in her car.
It's worth a shot.
Is the door unlocked?
Carefully reaching for the door, Aunt Gertrude. This door seems to be locked.
Okay. Is there a key, a lock key?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Maybe it's in her car.
I'm going to see if I can open the door. But yeah, you guys go look in the car.
I'm gonna stay with you in case something happens while you're.
It's okay. I'm going to stand a little to the side this time like you did last time, so that if she's got a sword, I can sidestep it. I've learned my lesson.
Good.
Okay.
I'll be in between the two groups, keeping an eye out.
I got a
Gotcha.
13. That's a pass.
Okay. So yeah, you begin to play with the lock, and you feel a click to it, and yeah, you've got this door unlocked in the back.
All right. I'm not going to open it yet until everybody else is. Why do you have a bobby pin, Jason?
Fabulous mustache.
Yeah, mate.
Meanwhile, the rest of you check out her car. You look it over. There's not really too much of note in here. one thing you do find looks like trace amounts of that luminescent salt from the cabin. And it looks like with it when you poured out Woodrow's, his had kind of like a yellow tint to it. And when Pelham Grenville, the butler, collapsed into a pile of salt, his salt had its own different tint to it. This you see shimmering tints of different colors.
Okay, I was supposed to ask if they were homogeneous, but
yeah, so kind of like what you saw in the cabin itself when you scraped together a pile of it and got a horrible conjoined mass of pieces.
how much is it? How much of it is there?
Very small. This is nothing like the amount that you found in the cabin. This is just like you only recognize it because you've seen it in action a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm going to gather it together.
Yeah, like I said, there's not much. Like it's barely enough to hold like in the palm of your hand that you're able to kind of scrape together off the back seat. Like it's a pretty inconsequential amount.
Ah, they have such trouble keeping their friends in order.
That's probably why part of his head was missing. They're spilling the stuff everywhere. Check behind the visor. Any keys?
Nope, not in this case. Outside of that, you flip the glove compartment open, and there is a very nice set of women's gloves.
Oh. Gertie would like these. Screw this lady.
Are you crazy? I have dainty hands. She has hammer hands. I got the door open, so if we want to sneak in. However, you know that she could be like sitting at a desk 3 feet from that door, which would mean that she'd see us coming in. I have a.
Oh, that's nice. I put my mask on.
I have a crazy idea. Yeah. What if we walk in our costume, and if she, the very least, she might say, "Oh, we're sorry. This is going to be tomorrow night at 7:00, not tonight." And
hopefully, even better, if she's alone, we'll just take her out now and we'll leave.
Right, we could do that too.
Wow. I like it, Gertie.
She'll be confused by our costumes because she'll think, "Oh no, you're too early."
Remember, it's not the costume they care about; it's the mask.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if they've got it scheduled for tomorrow at 7, then she'll be like, "Oh, you came a day early. Sorry."
Now, Gertie,
we're not ready to summon the doctor.
Or we'll just stay with everybody else. Everybody's already here.
Oh, you think
Dipped in fresh? And I kind of show her the salt.
now, Gertie, are we taking out this woman? Is that what we're like doing?
If that keeps her from building this bridge that Corny is talking about, we got to stop the bridge building.
All right, just making sure we're all on the same page here.
Of course, you never know. I mean, we might be able to stop it by kicking over a jar or blowing out a candle. Who knows? These sort of things, I don't know how these things work.
Yes, very fickle, very precise. Now, does everybody have their masks?
I do. Why's mine got a big nose?
Oh, I thought it looked...
Mine's like that one right there.
It complements your eyes, Randall.
Oh, you're too kind.
It's about the color, not the nose.
So
yes,
you all put on your masks, and then gather yourselves up. And are you guys
holes in this?
Are you guys marching through through that back door?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the philosophy: if you act like you're supposed to be there, people think you're supposed to be there.
Gotcha. Okay. Who's leading the way?
Cornelius will.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So, Cornelius, You fling the door open and bravely march in to what is definitely the backstage area of a theater. Once you're in here, the place back here is crowded with old unused props and backdrops, piles of old cloth, some of which might be costumes, some of which might be hanging fabrics and things like that. It's back here. It's a mess, but you can hear noise coming from within the theater itself. You hear a woman's voice, Mildred's voice, and it sounds like she's giving directions in kind of a loud and shouted voice, instructing people on where they should be standing and what they should be doing. As everyone filters in behind her, behind him, behind Cornelius, are you guys making your way towards the stage itself, which is at this point separated from you all? There's a large hanging curtain in crimson and yellow colors. It's dark back here. You can't really see too much except for the light shining in through the rear and very small amounts of light creeping through the from the interior of the place.
Yeah. I'm gonna I'll go head in the direction of the voices.
Okay. Is anybody going to stop to kind of look around back here?
Yes.
Well, a little bit.
I wanted to do. Look around a bit.
One thing you guys see back here is, besides some of the older stuff, you can see what definitely looks like some large standing mirrors are placed back here, and they look out of place. Like they don't look like they were from here originally. Everybody who's looking around and not just going straight to the curtain, make a spot hidden check.
Ooh, failed.
I failed.
Success.
Okay.
I'm very
By 5,
nervous.
but yeah.
So it's dark back here. It's hard to see what these what's going on with these mirrors. They almost look like funhouse mirrors. Like the reflections are just weird. Frank, you catch a good glimpse in one of these mirrors as some light from the door hits it, and you see what none of them notice, which is this mirror is not reflecting the backstage. This mirror, whereas everybody else thought it was like maybe dangling curtains and the floor and the wooden floor, you realize that in this mirror, it's a roiling red-colored sea with a green sky in the background. There are creatures moving off in the distance on a jet black beach. Make a sanity check.
Knew that was coming. It'll be a pass with a 19.
Okay. Well, you lose 1 point of sanity, and let out a little bit of a yelp.
Gertrude.
What the hell? What's wrong? Oh, isn't that nice to have a nice time on the beach? No. Do I see it when I look?
Yeah. If you come over to where Frank's standing, you see it, and you got to make a sanity check too.
That's not a mirror. It's a window.
Once again, it's dark. 7. Am I ever going to take any sanity hits?
You lose 1 point. And yeah, so Gertrude is temporarily dumbfounded. Randall, you've been making your way towards the explicitly making your way towards the curtains.
I have.
The middle of them. You hear behind you, Frank let out a little yelp, and you see him and Gertrude kind of staring at one of these standing mirrors.
This must be some of the dark magic. We need to shoot this mirror.
I look back and go, shh, shh. They're gonna hear you guys. What are you doing? What are you looking at over there? And am I close enough to maybe kind of peek between the crack?
Yeah. So as you get closer to the curtain itself, you hear sounds of stomping, like rhythmic dancing almost, and you're hearing all of a sudden just atonal singing, and it's really unpleasant. Is it Randall Cornelius or who?
I heard the singing earlier.
Yeah. No, well, who all was following Randall towards this and didn't stop for the looking around?
I took a look around but didn't see anything, so
Okay.
I would be with Randall at this point.
Gotcha. So with it, yeah, you guys have made your way up towards the curtain, and you're there if you want to pull it open.
Yep. Pull it.
Okay. Okay, so Randall parts the curtain, the yellow and crimson curtains, and as you do, you were greeted to a scene of about a dozen people in front of you, dancing around on stage, flailing madly. Like I said, every so often, some of them will sing a few lines of some atonal, discordant song. You see an even bigger crowd of people, maybe 20 people or so, or not quite that many, maybe about 15 in the first few rows, sitting there as an audience, and they have faces that are well, they're all wearing masks first and foremost, but you can see underneath them. Some of them have grimaces of pain. Some of them are just look like they're licking their lips with anticipation. It's kind of a disturbing scene, and as you take this in more and more, you hear, off to the one side where Mildred has been giving, from what sounded like, stage directions and instructions and things like that. You see her. She's holding a clipboard in her hand. She's got a yellow leather mask with streamers running down the sides of it, and she's just kind of staring at you, a little confused. Like she even cocks her head a little, like trying to figure out what's happening. Aldous, Randall, as you guys see this, one thing you pretty quickly realize is that next to her is a dark, loping creature, a little bigger than a man, with twisted skeletal wings protruding from its back, and a crooked beak running down its face. Unlike the beak on your mask, this beak is most definitely real, and seems to be jutting forth with spiked teeth. Its eyes are glowing blue flames. There's one on this side and another one on the opposite side of the stage, and you realize that these things are emitting some of the strange shrieks that you've been hearing. At first, you thought they were some kind of discordant singing, and you realize that they're just barks from these creatures, whatever they are. And both of you make a sanity check.
No.
I actually passed that by 1 point.
Okay.
Nice.
What's the damage?
Yeah, I just gotta pull it up just a second. There we go. 1 point.
What about for a fail?
And remember, you're taking half at this point because your mythos has gotten high enough.
Yeah, I still lost 3.
Ouch.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm at 5. That's 20%. But,
So, yeah, you guys see that. You hear the footsteps of Frank and Gertrude and Cornelius coming up behind you. And as you do, Mildred says, "Stop, stop, stop." And for a moment you panic, but you realize she's not talking to you. She's talking to the dancers on stage, and they all stop at once. And she says, "I remember you. You're one of those strange people that came asking about the things my brother purchased."
Yes, and you've kept us so horribly in the dark. How selfish of you.
How did you find out about this?
Oh,
Well,
we've been around. As I said, we had some of Pell's stuff too.
Oh, I know. I can only presume it was you that broke into my home and stole some of my belongings.
Oh, yes.
Curiosity, hon.
Well, on our behalf, only after your manservant tried to murder us, then we broke in.
Quite a pity, but don't worry. It won't matter in the end. After all, belongings and servants are only transient things. And in the age that's to come, we will all be reforged anew in a whole new world with whole new rules and whole new laws.
But yes, why didn't you want Woodrow to participate with you?
Oh, what do you
Have
mean?
him more stuck in his little canister.
The reason I'm doing this, among others, is to bring him back. If the king can use this city as his stage, then I'll have my brother back. I'm sure of it.
But the king can't bring him back.
Oh, we shall see.
The king wasn't the one who did it. Didn't you not read? You had the material. It was the demon sultan who turned your brother to salt, not the king.
Oh, no. Turning him to salt? Oh, that was just to bring him back. Fortunately, Pelham is quite the accomplished home chef and was able to make sense of the instructions. If Woodrow hadn't been so reckless, that poor fool, we would have never had to have done it. But of course, when we brought him back, there wasn't enough of him to do it. So, of course, it failed, and he was a wreck, and so I had to do this. And
you think the king likes disloyal subjects? Calling upon the demon sultan like you have? Please. You understand so little. We all do, don't we? Pell's gone now, too.
Oh, whatever. He was a fool just like my foolish brother, obviously. But I have paid attention. My diligence has paid off. Look at this. We're moments away. Take a seat. Let's go ahead and start it now.
So is the dance what's gonna make this complete? And these dancers? Is that what you're implying?
What? Oh, of course. I've done the math. I've paid attention to all of the rules. I've listened to the dreams. I've spoken to his servants. I know how to do everything properly. I will bring it about. It is my time. It is the king's time.
And they've rehearsed, right? So I'm going for my.
I'm going for my gun too.
I'm gonna My plan is to blow one of the dancers away because my belief is that hey, they've been training and that they're what needed.
Well, as you guys are arguing, and Gertrude and Frank, if you guys make your way up as well, you guys have to make the sanity check too.
Yeah, Cornelius, he's staying behind the mirrors. I'm staying behind the mirrors. Not the mirrors, the curtain.
Okay.
And I'm preparing a shot with the salt at the mirrors.
We're getting close with these sanity checks, but
Well, and
pass.
I was actually going to make the funny comment that I'm going to point it at Mildred and say I'm not really a very good shot, but the target's kind of big, and I point it towards the mirrors, and I'm going to fire in a second.
So, well, if you make the sanity check, it's 1. If you fail, it's D6.
Okay.
So these things are humanoid with
yes.
wings and a beak.
Yeah, they're fairly humanoid. I mean, their limbs look like they maybe have an extra joint to them. They don't bend quite the way a normal human limb would bend, and they definitely have some massive and dangerous claws.
The
Are
demon.
they like the back legs on a cheetah or something? The digitigrade?
Kind of, yeah, but like you usually don't see that applied to arms. And
it's like a monster it's like a Catholic demon.
Would be, yeah. Well,
and with that in mind,
time for an exorcism.
So as Cornelius and Mildred argue over the finer points of mythos worship,
Azathoth knows all, and you called upon him.
Frank, you've got the highest dex, so you sense the tension of you guys as a group, everyone who's not Cornelius, that things are about to take a turn. So you, unless you want to wait for someone else to act, you get the first action.
Yeah.
I am going to. So I'm going to have my right hand wrapped around the handle of my pistol.
Mm-hmm.
It's still in my pocket, but
Okay.
I'm loosening up the garment around it so I can pull it out and train it on Mildred as soon as anything happens.
Okay. So you're doing that. Aldous, you're taking aim. Like you messaged me with it. I guess. Are you trying to keep it hidden under your coat?
Nope, I'm just going to lift it up and point it at the demon and shoot.
Okay.
Just while they're talking, I'm just going to whip it out of the coat, put it up, and pull the trigger.
Okay. Well, actually, just before you go, Randall, what are you up to?
I'm shooting one of the dancers.
Okay, so you're going to be the one to open this off just before Alda gets his shot. So,
Yep.
You've got what are you firing with?
Sawed off 12 gauge.
Okay. Yeah, so you're not too far from these dancers.
No.
You might hit a couple.
That's a success.
Okay.
Probably within 10 yards.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, you hit them for the full amount.
All right. Where's my other D6? There it is. Oh, baby. Oh, ouch. 19 points.
Ooh.
Okay, so you
Can't
fire
dance anymore.
your double barrel shotgun, and blast out. This thing's a sawed off, so they're not that far away from you, but it's still got a pretty good spread. You actually catch two of the dancers and just blow them in a bloody heap towards the front of the stage. As you do that, Mildred, who was in the middle of just like mid-sentence arguing with Cornelius, just like lets out a shriek of frustration and pain. And Aldous, you raise your cut down hunting rifle, which still you've got plenty enough range to fire across the stage to take a shot at the creature behind Mildred.
24. Not just a regular success. I thought it was going to be more.
Okay. So yeah, you fire and you hit this thing.
2d8 plus 4.
Okay.
Oof.
6, 2, 8, 12.
12 damage? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you shoot this thing, and it stumbles back a little, and it's got this massive gaping hole in its chest. You're pretty sure you can see stars through the hole in its chest, and just multicolored smoke is just oozing out of it.
Sanity
Instead
or
of blood. No, because I mean, just seeing this thing is already enough.
At this point, we're all kind of expecting stuff like that. So.
Yeah, exactly. Aunt Gertie, what are you up to?
Well, I pulled my Derringer and I'm pointing it at the mirrors. Now I realize there's part of this whole game is in your imagination. I kind of envisioned that the mirrors were very large. Am I right? Or are they small?
Oh yeah, they're large, like full size, like the mirrors you'd stand in front of to like take
so
your
big mirror.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so I'm assuming that it'd be hard to miss.
All I have
to do is hit the mirror.
Well, and beyond that though, since you're specifically paying attention to mirrors, one thing you notice, which like not really, it kind of there's a lot more important things going on stage, but since you guys are coming in from the back of the stage, there are some props and things set up,
right? And
you realize that these things that you're seeing some of the back of on stage are probably more mirrors. You're just seeing the back of them, so you're not seeing. Well,
I'm aiming at the one that we saw the lake in.
Okay. So yeah,
I'm gonna pull the trigger.
Yeah, you get a bonus die because you're firing at a stationary target.
You're literally firing at a landscape.
15, so I hit.
Okay. Yeah. So.
And does damage actually count? Because if I do any damage, it probably is going to shatter the mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything at all happens.
Yeah. So you turn and you fire and hit the mirror. The mirror back in the back area cracks and shatters and falls to the ground in pieces.
Okay.
Looking in, you're kind of looking at it, and you're still seeing the same images, but fractured.
Okay.
And
what's her reaction when I smash the mirror?
Well, she seems a little overwhelmed and preoccupied by this whole situation, and this is a betrayal that she seems to have not really expected. And she seems kind of flabbergasted. And with that, Cornelius, because you were kind of busy arguing, you're going to be the last to go. What are you up to?
I just start shouting, "Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten the words and the power of others looking to the king? Don't you remember the words? Rhyme, harmonies, in life and death ye find. Few chosen revisit life to death. Shine as a demon of stars ye bind."
Okay,
It's
so
the reversal one. So
Yep.
hopefully any of them are solved.
yeah, Cornelius begins to chant his poem that he has now become rather proficient with. It's still a slow chant, and like the air just feels thick and soupy around him as he's saying it.
It's the Air Slam Poetry Night.
As he begins to say the chant, and he's about halfway through it when Mildred shouts, "No! What are you doing?" And now all you guys have your weapons drawn, so
Yeah, my gun would have been out of
yeah.
the pocket as soon as.
yeah.
as
So
soon as
Frank,
Randall-
yeah. You've got your gun cleared and out. You're first up.
All right. So is Mildred starting to do something?
She looks like she's reaching for something in a purse.
Time for some high velocity, large gauge acupuncture.
Okay.
That is a 9.
Okay. Yeah. How much damage?
Visiting the priest was a good idea. So that will be 5 damage.
A 9. Was that that impale?
Yeah.
Then it's
yeah.
doubled.
It's full
Just roll
damage
it twice?
Or yeah, sorry, full damage plus roll.
Oh, okay. So that'll be 19.
Okay. And you're shooting her with what?
It's just my gold damascened pistol. It's a 38 revolver.
Okay. Yeah, so you draw your pistol out and fire it, and your shot lands straight between her eyes. And in mid scream, she kind of stumbles back as her arm flies out, and she's got a gun in her hand, and she just kind of stumbles off of the stage. With that, Randall, what are you up to? You've got your gun drawn.
Yep, I've got one shell left, and I will swing and shoot at the creature that Aldous did not shoot at.
Okay, the one. So you fire off at the one to the left of the stage, or on the left side of the stage from you guys, and with it, yeah, go ahead and take your shot.
What are the other people in the room doing? The dancers and are they all scrambling to get the hell away?
Not exactly. Like the audience seems really excited about what's going on. Some of them are cheering. Some of them are crying. The dancers are kind of standing there, almost like they're waiting for instruction.
They're like, the effects are amazing.
Do the cha-cha.
The creatures, though, have begun to move in your direction. And speaking of which, Randall.
I malfunctioned. That's what
Okay. So.
Oh, no.
What?
Click.
Yeah.
Misfire.
The moral of the story. Don't do any bootleg modifications on firearms.
Aldous, do something.
Yep. And yeah, Aldous.
I'll shoot the same one that I hit already.
Okay. Yeah. With that first shot, it's howling and is beginning to move forward. And yeah, go ahead and take your second shot at it.
41 out of 70, a regular success.
Okay.
Damage.
Yeah.
5, 2, 7, 11.
11. Okay. Okay, so this one, you fire another shot into it. The second shot rips into its neck, and its head kind of flops to one side. You see this oozing smoke pouring out of it, this multicolored smoke as well. And in a sudden moment, the whole creature's body contorts and twists and then begins to fold in on itself with this horrific cracking of bones and bends on itself again and again and again until it's smaller, and then it's almost as if it wasn't there.
Mother of God.
Aunt Gertie,
Yeah.
you've got your derringer drawn.
Yeah, I have one bullet.
Oh,
so
oh, okay.
Bullet. I'm going to throw my gun at the other demon. You son of a bitch, and throw my gun.
Go for it.
That's, I guess, a throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get. I got a 58 out of 20.
Yeah, your derringer like lands 5 feet short of the thing.
Some soft booing arises from the audience.
There's a gun for you to try shooting at us with. Got no bullets in it.
Okay.
Actually, and at the same time, are there any other mirrors? Because I could just push them off the stage.
Well, you see some in the like I said, yeah, you see some in the stage, but they're all kind of set kind of midway in the stage, kind of circling around. But you guys are kind of behind them because you're coming out of the back.
Okay.
So if you want to like run out and push them, but yeah.
Yeah, instead of fighting, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Is just try to push the mirrors all over one at a time.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's gonna take you a moment to get out there because this remaining creature flaps its skeletal wings, and when it does, its whole body kind of vibrates and shudders, and suddenly it's not where it was standing before. Let's see, who had shot? Well, Frank did. Yeah, it's not where it was standing before. It kind of shudders and crackles through the space, and there's this loud thunderclap, and all of a sudden it's standing right in front of Frank. And Frank, make a brawl or a dodge check.
Oh boy. All right. So my I didn't put anything to dodge.
Okay, that's half dex.
Dex.
Yeah.
30.
Okay.
That's 28.
Okay.
Nice.
You can't make this up.
Okay. So
The unflappable Frank Shannon.
this thing begins to try to savage at you with these claws. You're able to dodge a couple of these swipes, and then it just pushes its hand straight forward and smashes you, kind of pushing its hand into your chest, and then smashes you into the wooden floor of the stage. You take 8 points of damage.
Oof.
And it just raises its other claw up over its head like it's going to bring it down on you. And with that, Aunt Gertie, now you get to
broke
go.
several ribs.
Well, I guess I don't have. I said what I was going to do. So
Yeah, but now's your actual deck, so you can do something different. If you're
okay. Well, if I see that
not
thing,
chucking your gun.
if I see that thing going after Frank, I'm gonna scream Frank like this and run in his direction. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Gonna try to body check the creature?
I'm an old woman and I've had a gunshot and I'm gonna rip my stitches open, but I don't think I'm thinking clearly. So yeah, I'm gonna try to body slam the fucker.
Channel the ostrich, Aunt Gertie. Channel your inner ostrich.
Well, I got a 62. Yeah, that didn't pass.
Okay. So yeah, you go running at this creature that's hovering over Frank.
I'm a
And-
size 45, so yeah.
As you do, its wings kind of do a shuddering flap, like not really moving anywhere, but they kind of like hit you and kind of send you tumbling off to one side, and you're not really able to connect.
But maybe I distracted it for a moment from hurting Frank.
Cornelius, so you continue your chant uninterrupted.
Yep.
And as you finish the last of the words, you hear the moanings and the exultations and the tears and the laughter of the audience go up a pitch. And all of a sudden, the entire audience or the entire theater is bathed in light as all of the dancers around you, which are mostly just, like I said, standing around kind of waiting for instructions. And then the audience themselves begin to crack and glow. And
The audience too?
yes. And then the light from gets brighter and brighter until there's a thunderclap. And with a bright flash of light, the entire audience is gone. And all of the dancers, where they once were, there are just piles of
Salt.
where they once were. And the only thing left outside of them is this creature that's savaging Frank, and Mildred's body is most definitely still there. Like you can see her leg kind of out from one of the rows of chairs right in front of the stage where she had fallen off of it.
I lost 4 points of sanity from the casting.
Yeah, and
I just shout, "Behold the power of Azathoth! Servants of the king are not welcome here."
And they can't hear you. They're all salt right now.
All of them. I'm behind the curtain still. I have no idea.
Save Frank.
Aldous, you've got your gun out and ready to go, and didn't misfire and aren't being attacked by a beast, so you get a shot.
I'll shoot at the creature that's standing above Frank.
Go for it.
Oh, let's go. 20.
So-
20. It's a no, it's not. Nope. I thought I had
And
it's
and
just
you
a
said-
regular
You said Gertrude was knocked away.
Yeah.
just a regular success. I got excited for nothing.
Okay.
Hold
Well,
on.
roll for damage. I mean, you still got that murder gun, so
Yeah.
6, 3, 9, 13.
okay. So you fire on this thing from behind, and the back of its head cracks open, and this black ooze just begins to pour out of it, and it howls and twists its head, and kind of looks back at you, but with it, it's definitely still alive and definitely still fighting. And on that note, Frank, make another. Well, you can't really make a dodge check because he's on top of you. Make a brawl.
Right. Wow. 3.
3. Okay.
I don't know what I did to my dice, but
Keep those dice close.
apparently I'm asleep
Yeah.
now.
This thing had raised one hand up and just brings it down. You're able to kind of throw your arm up and knock it aside, and just barely avoid having it run its fingers through your head. It then kind of yanks its fingers, claws rather, out of the wood, grabbing you by the neck and hurling you. You still end up taking 7 points of damage, And Aldous,
Yes.
make a dodge check.
All right. Not too good at that.
Frank, are you unconscious?
23 out of 25. Just barely.
So yeah, you're able to dodge Frank's limp body as it's thrown at you. And he crashes to the ground behind you. Frank, I'm guessing you're unconscious at this point? Nap time for Frank.
Not
okay.
dead.
Randall,
Very much so.
what are you up to with your gun? So
All right. Well, I'm going to charge at the thing with the gun out, kind of like a linebacker, and try to like check him.
okay, make a brawl check.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So yeah, you run at this thing, and just like with Aunt Gertrude, it kind of bats you away. But this time, it does it a little more consciously with one of its arms, and sends you sprawling to the other side of the stage. The creature lets out a howl. Cornelius, what are you up to?
I am still behind the curtain. Some interesting things are happening on the other side of it. So
Okay.
I'm going to pull out my shotgun.
Okay. Are you gonna come on out then?
Around like the back of the curtain.
Around the other side.
Around the other side. Kind of
Okay.
looking like, horizontally across.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, with it by now, the creature's kind of moved up to the mass in the center where everybody
Mhm.
is. So with it, it's not that far away from where you are right now.
Oh. So I'm going to make a sanity check. I haven't seen it yet. And I pass again. Yes, with a 4.
And so yeah, with it, you see this creature. It had knocked Frank to the ground. It picks him up and hurls him. And
Is it standing over a lot of salt right now?
not over a ton of it.
Okay, so.
Well, let's see. I'll make a luck check.
23. That is a hard luck pass.
So it's standing in a puddle of salt of one of the dancers, the one that was closest to the group.
Oh gosh.
Part of using that magic should exhaust you. So
yeah. I'm just gonna try to shoot it.
Okay.
If it was like just bathed in salt, but no.
No, but its foot is definitely stepping in one of them.
Yeah, the only salt that would have made it there would have been like scattered.
Extreme pass with rifles with an
Okay.
8.
Yeah, you hit
Nice.
max
So
damage.
That's an impale, and I have one of those massive shotguns. So what is that? 2d10, which is 20 or 46. Oh, 4d10?
46.
Okay,
Sorry.
so that's going to be 24, 25, 28, 30, 33 damage.
Okay, you fire your shotgun, and I mean, this thing's moved right in front of you as it's fighting your friends and thrashing about, and you hit it dead on and catch it with the full blast of buckshot, and it punches clear through the center of this thing, and it is just oozing black slime everywhere. And as it kind of stumbles back, the body of the creature begins to crack, and it begins chipping apart and collapsing like a ruined statue, and just splashes to the ground in a pile of sick black ooze. And there's nothing physical left of it.
I told you weren't welcome here.
I want to try and run to Frank's body. See
yeah,
if
me
he's
too,
alive.
and do some first aid.
Okay.
I'm going to go check on Mildred.
Oh, yeah. You as they go to patch up Frank, you hop off the stage, look at Mildred, and she's just lying there with this look of surprise on her face, and blood is everywhere. there's a big chunk missing out of the back of her head, and on the front of her head, right here, a little hole.
Well, guess you did get to exit the world.
Got a 22 out of 30 for first aid on Frank.
Okay. So yeah, Frank, he looks like I mean, first of all, he's definitely got a lot of broken ribs. He's in a bad way. You're able to kind of bind him up as best as possible, and find something to kind of secure his neck, because you realize, like, if he's moved in any way that's not incredibly carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how far was I thrown?
Yeah, basically across the stage, back towards Aldous, but Aldous dodged, and then you just kind of sailed into the backstage area.
Well, we got to get him to
Caught me,
Boston.
Aldous.
We got to get him to Boston General ASAP.
Yeah.
So, yeah, with that, silence descends on the theater. It's all that's here is you guys, piles of salt, and Mildred's corpse.
A lot of that stuff on the backstage looks like it's flammable, guys.
I'm gonna be gurgling. Set fire.
I was just gonna ask, anybody want a cigar?
Yeah, as you guys take Frank and carefully carry him out the back, Aldous pitches his cigar into one of the old piles of clothing and cloth, and pretty quickly that fire begins spreading through this place. And you guys leave and make your way out of there and get Frank to the hospital. And yeah, with that, any trace of what Mildred is up to is erased, and you guys rest a little easier, knowing that whatever she was up to, she didn't get the chance to do it.
So is that the end for us?
Indeed, that is.
All right, you want to give us what was going on?
But when Cornelius is alone, he's going to read what she had on that clipboard of hers.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so everybody gets D10 luck and 2d6 sanity, and that's the end of it. Now, as far as what was occurring, yeah, sure enough, let me put my notes back together. There we go. So, yeah, basically, I mean, big picture with all of this. Cornelius bought the estate sale of an old investigator, an old Mythos investigator, and this is what happens when you die before you get to burn all your stuff. And
so they got a hold of some of his stuff and started reading through it, and
yep, basically, first Woodrow started playing around with it, doing things that he shouldn't have been doing, and ended up engaging in some things that left him severely scarred, and it eventually killed him. And then Mildred didn't really have any idea about what was going on until she found his body, and then basically kind of dove into what he was doing, and just like how she was doing better than him at the mill, also proceeded to more diligently pay attention to the notes and things like that she was seeing, and she was able to bring him back. And the problem is what she could bring back wasn't enough of him to be him anymore, as you guys saw.
It was still damaged, yeah.
Yeah. So then she started digging deeper until she could try to find somebody to actually make it stick. And so that's where she started reaching out to the King in Yellow as a hope to change the times and make his return possible.
I see. Cool. It's a good story.
What were those demons? Were they mental?
They're just Byakhee.
Oh, okay.
It's fun to mix them up, and I I like to try to not say like it's a Byakhee or it's a ghoul,
Right.
and try to give them different descriptions so to make them feel alien, especially like when you're shooting these creatures and any individual creature doesn't respond the same. It just helps them feel more alien.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
I like the concept of shooting a hole in them and seeing stars.
Yeah, that was
That
really
was a cool idea. As if they were somehow projections into our universe from another one. It was clever.
Yeah.
It was a great game. Really great game.
Well, let's finish it up. We can talk afterwards. Our players included Morgan Llewellyn, Brian Daly, Keith Craig, Jason Melnichuk, and myself with Luke Strom as Keeper of the Secrets. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. There's a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.